What up, peeps? Energy here. Excited for the 2019 Energy Broadcasting System and what's going to unfold this year. Super excited about that. Today I wanted to talk about choices and our responsibility in regards to the choices we made and everything in life. And I can say, like, I had a pretty rough upbringing and I made a lot of choices because I had no other choice. I was put in certain situations and experienced certain things because I had no choice but to be there. So when I look back now, instead of being, because of them and because she did this to me and because I was just a little kid, and then I don't look at that in the blame game at all. It happened, right? Because we talked about that in the last Energy Broadcasting System. I touched base on that, about acceptance and being at peace. And it's not about ignoring or not validating yourself for something you experienced that was bad for you, that didn't feel good for you. I'm not talking about that. It's about validating, acknowledging it and accepting it, being at peace with it and moving on, right? So it's choices. Those are all choices that you're making on what filter you're going to use, the choice that you're going to make on not being the blame game, because I see that so much. People blaming, no, because of them I'm in this situation, because of them I'm in that situation, and they weren't fair, and they did me wrong, and they did this to me, and they did this to me, and them, and that's, again, another thing I talked about in another Energy Broadcasting before, because all these are going to tie in together, guys. So that blame game, what happens is that true growth isn't going to happen until you start taking responsibility for your action and your role in the situation. Because you played a role in the situation. And going back to what I said earlier about being like when I was a kid and some of the choices that I was forced to be put into, I could have had, of course, that's how I learned, because I went through it. I learned that from that situation, what filter was I going to look at the situation? I'm here. I got to deal with this. So I can deal with it in a better attitude and being mindful. Like now I always say, this is temporary. I know this is temporary. This is going to pass. When it's a horrible morning, I'm making a choice. I'm choosing the responsibility to say, this is temporary. This is going to pass. I'm not going to allow it to consume me, to own me, and absolutely not define me. Did you hear that? Not define you. No situation, no moment, nothing that you're going through is going to define you, but rather it is a gift and a tool, and you might not realize it at the moment, but it's a blessing because it's going to serve you. It's leveling you up. It's leveling you up. It's a very painful process. It is, but it's worth it. You've got to say, okay, I'm going through this. It's temporary. I'm going to get through it on the other end. And you're going to look back and take a moment, and I'm going to choose to say, what did I learn from this? What could I do different next time? Because that's going to teach. Everything's a teachable moment. Everything, I'm choosing to look at it like that. Like, how am I going to learn from here? It's like I look at every situation I'm in like that. What can I learn from this? And by making that choice personally and choosing to live like that and choosing to always self-reflect, it also gives me the opportunity that when someone's standing in front of me and they're talking to me about something, or I see something going on, I always, I don't even judge. It's not before I judge. It's like I always look at that person and always say, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. They're on their journey figuring out. Now, whatever it is that they're doing, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not here to judge you. You know all the fucked up shit I've done? I'm not here to judge no one. But rather what I am is that I'm going to accept how they are and what they're doing. And if it's something that's not in my vibration or my energy field, I'm just going to walk away from it and allow them to be. But I'm not here to judge. I'm choosing that because we're all on our path and our journey. And self-reflection is key. And absolutely a lot of people walking around without that. A lot of people walking around like this, doing this, instead of going, look at how many fingers are pointing back at you. Look at you. What can you do different? That's the only thing you're in control. Choose. Make that choice. Choose right. Choose what can you do different? Because this is the only thing you're in control of. Your thoughts, your actions, how you're going to be. Like I'm gonna always base everything out of love, even when someone's not loving me back or treating me right. I'm always gonna treat some people right. I'm gonna treat them right, even though they're treating me like shit. Because it's me. That's a choice I make. How am I gonna live? How am I gonna treat people? And how am I gonna always stop and look at me? I'm gonna choose to look at me and say, what could I do different? What's my action here? Because we all own a piece of responsibility in anything that occurs in our lives. So remember, like this YouTube video, subscribe to us. I'm gonna be talking about all types of things. I'm gonna be doing some exercise stuff too. So excited for 2019, the choices you make and self-reflection and owning that responsibility only allows us to elevate ourselves and most importantly, level up. Energy out.